This is today's live on Equa Television International. We're so glad that you could join us on today's edition of the program. We're live on Facebook and YouTube at Equa Television International. Do well to join the conversation. Today, on today's live, we're looking at making money the right way. I had to take a deep breath before mentioning that because, the talk about money is one that everybody wants to find out. Oh, how? How do we navigate through compromise and all of that? But in today's fast-paced world, the pursuit of wealth actually seems to overshadow integrity and even purpose. But as we navigate the complexity of earning a living, it's important we ask ourselves this question. The money that I'm actually making, how beneficial is it to me and those that are around me? But what is more important is the fact that this money that we're making has to be in a way that is sustainable, has to be in a way that has value or aligns with our value. My name is Joyce Jakada. I'm not doing this alone. We're going to be exploring this topic alongside Jamima Emmanuel and Prudence Burka.
Good morning.
How are you doing?
Fine, thank you.
I'm happy that today, talking about money, I have my ladies. So let's explore this topic, making money the right way. Like, have you thought about making money the right way? And then what does it mean to you to make money the right way? Somebody will be like, does it even matter? But what exactly does it mean to you to make money the right way?
Well, making money legally.
Wow, legally. Okay.
Making it with the right morals in mind. Making it with people at the back of your mind as well. Because when you're making money and you have people at the back of your mind, you don't want to dupe them. You don't want to exploit them. You don't want to extort from them. In as much as everyone is out there to make money and make profit, there is a profit that is really a different kind of profit. So making money the right way, making money legally, making money ethically, making money just the right way.
Okay. Ethically, legally. Okay. Prudence, what does it mean to you? Making
Morally
money?
as well.
Morally, okay.
The Hausa-man would say, Banda kazamin riba. That's like no excessive profit. And what exactly does that mean? It just means that when you are going about doing your business to get money, you should do it in a manner that is befitting, a manner that is favorable to humanity as well, something that would help. Let me see how to explain this in a better sense. Every family has their values and their moral background, and if the way you are making money it goes against basic moral principles, then automatically that is not the right way. So you have to go, if you're looking for money, it has to go through the whole basic moral principles kind of thing. And it doesn't mean that you're not going to be taking risks, because making money in itself is a whole lot of risk. You see that sometimes the steps that you're taking, people are looking at you and they're like, is this person crazy? Like, why would you even go through this way to make money? But if it doesn't go against your basic moral, and I'm very peculiar about that, your principles and standard surrounding humanity, around humanity, and that is if you are not a Christian. But then if you're a Christian, it's like basic Christian principles. If you're making money, it has to go around basic Christian principles. So honestly, what is making money? It's like harnessing wealth. It's that you can channel what you have to be able to afford for yourself a basic lifestyle. You put in your energy or your intellect or your skill to get something in return to make a living for yourself. That is basically what making wealth is. So making money is. So how you go about it is that you have to look at basic human principles, basic. And I keep using basic, and I know that some people are wondering, like, why does she keep using basic? Because you would find that some people would tell you morality is relative. Yes, so I'm talking about basic moral principles, something that cuts across nations and cuts across cultures, something that goes way beyond just what I think is right or what society accepts as right. So that's why I kept on using the word basic. So you're looking at things in that direction. You find that in every economy you find, they talk about embezzlement in a very bad light. So don't embezzle. They talk about theft in a bad light. So don't steal. You get, those are basic moral human principles that have been set in place by different governments, and you have to go about making money with that in your, at the back of your mind. It has to be in a way that it's not detrimental to someone. You're not harming somebody else just to be able to harness wealth for yourself. So that is how I picture making money in itself,
in the right way. And that's why earlier on in the introduction I said, in today's fast paced world, everybody's just up and about. Everybody's hustling. Everybody wants to make money. I mean, the conversation everywhere is about money, money, money. Somehow it is tied to, somehow it is related to. The problems that we face as a society is tied to money. In families, when you hear quarrel or when you hear father, mother fighting, children, is about money, sharing of money, how to make money, and all of that. And as everybody is going about running up and down, spending a lot of time, some don't even sleep at all, trying to make this money. A preacher said, this money that you have been hustling since today, hard today, up till today, you've not made. Are you not tired? Won't you just surrender your life to serving God? Instead of this, you're up and down, that you cannot even make it to Bible study or prayer meeting yet. 30 years of your life, 40 years, you are still not rich. Is it not enough for you to just have a think and all of that? But the conversation is about making it the right way, because we have seen people enjoy the fruit of their labor. There are a lot of people that taught the path of making money the right way, like you rightly explained. I mean, making money in a way that is sustainable, in a way that is impactful, in a way that is value-based. I think basically, like, that's what making money the right way means. And these people today, they are so relaxed, like, they were deliberate about making this money the right way, and years after, they are benefiting, their children are still benefiting from it. They have peace. I've seen people that made money but not the right way, and the money turned out to be problems to them. Like, they have children that, because the children don't even know the value, because they know it was not even made true value-based approach, like, was not applied to making the money. They just squandered the money, or they just mismanaged the money. And the parent, I wished you had you worked for the money, or you don't know what it means to work for money and all of that. But you see, if only everybody will look at making money the right way, I think the world will be a better place. Nobody will have to start thinking of using their father or their mother for money ritual. Nobody will want to use his or her girlfriend or boyfriend for Yahoo. Nobody will have to steal from somebody because you want to get money. Nobody will want to be thinking of defrauding somebody because of money. Nobody wants to go and conspire just so that they can make money. Nobody will want to compromise at their workplaces just to make money. But everybody is going to be looking at, okay, how can I make money that at the end of the day is going to be sustainable? How can I make money that will be impactful? How can I make money that is morally, in a way that is morally acceptable? Now, you spend your money without being scared. There are people today that have built mansions, but they can't stay in it. Why? Because they didn't even make it the right way. I mean, there are some people that are no longer in power. They served politicians, and today they are on the run. They have money, but they cannot even eat the money comfortably because people will come for them. We have leaders today that have accumulated wealth. Like, they can't even go back to their constituency or even their village. Why? Because monies that were meant for projects, They accumulated it for themselves and even their children. Some months back, we heard of governors that the EFCC went after because they embezzled money that was meant for the public. I mean, a governor paying school fees for his children in advance. This is not making money the right way, because you are disregarding the needs of the people, the needs of the masses, just so that you can have to yourself and the future of your children. And that is why at the end of the day, you will be on the run. There are some people on the street today, they have run mad. Why? Because they went to put their hands in certain things because, no, I cannot follow process. I cannot wait. I want to just accumulate wealth. And in the process, maybe some rules are set for them and they broke it. And today they are living with it. Some went into drug. Some went into abuse of one thing or the other. And more like they've wasted their years or their times. And they're like, I wish. There are people that will look at people that told the right path and they're like, I wished I followed your own footstep. But looking at our lives and our own experiences, I don't know if you've had at any point you had to choose between profit and integrity, because the pursuit of wealth at the same time, like in today's life, is overshadowing integrity and even purpose. But did you as an individual find yourself in a situation where you had to choose between profit and integrity, and then why did you decide to like go for any of the option that I just asked for?
All right, so let me start off on that. Recently, I had an opportunity where I could have made a large profit concerning something, and but I looked at my time, what I had on ground, and how feasible I can be able to make the order. It didn't seem promising to me. Like that was like 2 months before the time. I remember my mom saying, just tell them that you do it so that they will not have to take the order somewhere else. And I looked at it, and because I was part of the planning committee, and I looked at it and I said to myself, even if you collect this order, are you sure that you would give quality? And I thought, no, I don't have the workmanship to do it. I wouldn't be able to reach that much. Do I need the money? Obviously, I do. Was it something that I could do to a certain level? Yes, absolutely, I can do it. But the value, the worth would have dropped if I was going to do it all alone. I don't have workers to work with me, and at that moment, who was I going to get to do it? So I looked at that and I said, no, it's not worth it. I could just not accept this order because I cannot be able to give the quality that I have made for that I've told myself that this is what I would give out. And if I'm not able to make it, there's no need for me to actually go ahead and do it. And so that's how I lost that. I lost the money. So, but here's what I was thinking. I was thinking that I want them to enjoy what I do. And if I want the people that will be taking what I'm what I do, if I want people that would to enjoy what I did, if I want people to recommend me for anything more, I would have to do it at the best quality that I could offer. And at that moment, the quantity was possible, every other thing was feasible, but I would have compromised my quality. So I said no, I couldn't do it because
so you
of
opt
that.
for integrity.
Yes, exactly. So there are times that you're faced with situations like that and you just like, no, I can't give out what they're expecting, or I can't surpass their expectation. So it's better off that we just stay off it. I remember a time where I was asked to be a leader it was in school then, and everybody was talking about how you need to be in this position. There were perks to that position, and I said I don't want to do it because it was something that your name would just be nominated and listed. And I said, I don't want to do it. I can't do it. And I met some people. I was like, I want to go to the higher authority and tell them that I can't do it. But these people kept on saying, okay, no, you can do it. So accept it. But I was looking at how my capacity would not be up to par to what they're looking for. And I told them, no, I think it's better I just step back. Okay, then they said, okay, but you can just be like an assistant or something of that nature. But here's the point. There are times where you cannot, you know that it is not possible to be able to give out. And if in that kind of situation, I know a lot of people, for instance, you find a lot of people gunning for positions in the political sphere, and they know they're incapable of doing this thing. They know that they cannot deliver, but the perks that will come from that position have to be there. And so they go all out to get that position. And at the end of the day, everybody's disappointed and saying, this person just did. He should have just let the other person to rule. And at that moment, that person opted for money. Because in the true sense of it is the money and the prestige that the position comes with that they go for. So there are times where you have to just take a step back if you really pursue integrity and principles. Yes.
Okay, there was a point I was given a large amount of money to run some things, and I was told you were given this amount. Just go and do that. And I left only for me to get to my destination. And I realized the money was ×2 of what I was told. And at that point, the person I was to do that with was like, see, let's use this part of the money and do our own personal stuff, because that's like our profit. That's like a well done for what we were asked to do. And I said, but what if that person knew
and did that deliberately?
Yes. What if it was a deliberate thing? No, that person was so sure. She told us twice that this is the amount she gave us. And I kept, at a point it felt like I agreed, but there was this piece that was not there. Like I kept feeling like I'll be caught. And if I get caught, nobody would believe me ever again. So at a point where we got to where we would have used the extra part to use for our personal gain, I just told her, I can't do that. I can't do that. Actually, the money remaining was, let's say the woman told us she gave us 100,000, and then we got to know it was 200,000. So that's like a cool cash out and all of that. But I had to opt out. She was so angry. She just left and allowed me to do whatever I was going to do. And when I went back, I told the woman, okay, this is what we got. This was what remained. And then we got to know that this money is in excess, and this is the actual amount that you gave to us. And she asked of the other person, and I said, well, we were not coming to an agreement, so I had to bring it back. And she asked me to go back with the remaining one. I couldn't believe. I was like, okay. So at that point, I was picking integrity over whatever form of profit that I would have gotten. And at the end of the day, I still got what I would have lied about in the first place. And when I went back to the
living
lady,
with the guilt.
Yes. And then I felt, okay, since I got this, I shouldn't just take it to myself alone. I went back to the lady and tried to explain. She was not interested. What?
Effect.
I had to help myself. So sometimes when you have to pick integrity over profit or over any other thing, it's not because you're expecting anything else in return, but because that is the right thing that you should do. If I had gone back to the woman hoping that she would give it to me, probably she wouldn't even have given it to me. But that she gave it to me was a shock, because I didn't believe someone would just pull out that amount and just give it to you for nothing. So integrity over profit is important. And I do a little bit of poultry farming at home, and I've had situations where someone wants to come and buy, and he asks you, okay, what are the sizes of eggs you have? And then you hear people say, well, they are very big. They are very okay. If they are not big, I will tell you they are small. If they are medium, I will tell you they are medium, because I don't want you to come all the way and then be disappointed. Some trust me to the extent that they just send a cab driver to come and pick it up. So imagine if I had told you they are very good sizes, and then you get to know that and because of the sincerity I do, a lot of people have had to recommend me to other
Refer.
people that till today I have not met, and their business still goes on very well. So integrity over profit is important. If it's not now, in the long run, at least even if nothing good comes your way, your children will get to benefit, because when her mom was doing this, she was very honest, she was sincere, she had her integrity intact.
I mean, my experience are countless. You know, when you do business, every day you're faced with either picking
Trials.
between integrity or profit.
Yeah.
I remember sometimes it is between myself and my suppliers, and sometimes it's between me and the customers. There was the time that I went to the market to get some stuff, materials, and after getting it, and we calculated the money, and then I paid, and there are some cash that the person, because I use ATM, so I needed some cash, and then he gave me. So while I was going, I counted the money, and this guy didn't calculate well. Like he overpaid me. I had already stepped out already. I was going, but he overpaid me, and you see, there's this mind that will tell you, Robon Kineo,
It's your luck.
it's your luck. And then there's another mind, like one part of you that no, that's not your money, and that should not be your character. And I went back and I said, we did the calculation again. I said, I think you overpaid me. And we did the calculation again, and it was, and I gave him back the money. He was grateful. I mean, till today, if I want anything, I can be anywhere, I can call. And then I will send somebody, and they will just give them all the materials, worth hundreds of thousands. When I come back, then I will pay, or I can make transfer. But even if it's urgent, and I don't have the money, he will definitely give. Because I decided that no, instead of counting this money as profit, no, let me just. And I also remember an experience with a customer. Somebody connected, referred her, and she told me that this person has money, add the money for her. And I was like, I wasn't really comfortable, because somebody can just, what's the name, and person goes to your page and is seeing the price that you're selling. The person will be disappointed, and business will just stop there. And when this lady told me, she has money, or me, I told her this amount. You know what? There's one thing with some ladies, they will buy something for 500, they will tell you they bought it 10,000. So she had told her a price already, and so she told me to tell the lady the price. And when she called, we got chatting, and I just said, this is the money. And she now paid. She made transfer, and she the money was over. And I told her, you paid over, and she said yes, she knows that she'll pick another hair eventually. So when I was done, she didn't pick anything. When I sent the hair, and I told her, you still have change, and she said, just keep it. Buy something for the children. I said, okay. We've not met before, and now you can use it and buy something for the children. I said, I thought my sister's children are my children.
Actually,
Very right. And look at what integrity can do. I could just tell her, just like your story, decide not to give. You eat the money, and then your peace, as long as that thing exists, your peace will be seized, unless you confess to the person eventually and all. But when you took it back, she ended up giving you. Most times we think that it's being smart. It's making money. I'm going to make more than this. But in the long run, your relationship, you're going to impact, it's going to have an impact on that relationship. There was another time that I had an opportunity to work somewhere. It's just a day walk, and we were standing with a colleague there, and then somebody came and said, I found this money, maybe you could help find the owner. And I was like, look at the mints and all of that, maybe it's our luck. And on the second thought, I said, no, just keep it. Eventually we're going to talk with the committee, and we'll find a way around it. And then later on, before I left, I said, okay, please count the money. How much is it? Because it's, and then, okay, this is the amount, we all left. So the next day, I now told one of the committee member, we found so amount of money, and like that. Okay, bring the money. And I decided to ask the other person, and the person said, the owner came and met me, and I gave the person the money. I was like, really?
The owner from where?
Who is the person? That somebody? I said, somebody? How does it sound to your ear? But obviously, you could see compromise and all. And I was like, okay. And I went back to tell, because I had already said that, the money was found, and this is the amount. And, people should bring it. And then I had to go back and say, okay, this person said the owner came and cut that. What do you mean by that? Say that's what I was told though. But you know what the impact of that? Because like it wasn't logical that actually, because at that point everybody left and somebody how did the person know? There wasn't any public announcement or anything. How did the person know that there was money with you? And you are not even the one that found the money, was somebody. But you know, that broke trust. When it has to do with anything that has to do with money, this person is not involved. And then the conversation, no, you can't trust this person when it has to do with this. But at the moment you felt that people feel that, okay, let me just make the money. It does not matter. Oh, this money can solve this problem. This money can do this for me. You hear people vying for political positions saying, go and take your share of national cake. Oh, let's just vote for him. This person has suffered enough. Because when you go there, it's a way of making money. It's not even about service but going there to make money. People don't care. They'll tell you they don't care about integrity. They don't care about your competence. People just, okay, it's our turn. Let's go. Other people too went and ate their share of the national cake. So even politics, people see it as way of making money. No wonder then as a lot of Christians don't believe in partaking in politics, because they just feel the activities that are being done there are actually ungodly and not ideal.
I actually want to shake a table that I know is quite controversial, and a lot of people would not even want to hear it. But you see, it is the truth. Apart from just the politics, I know a lot of times we say Christians don't want to engage in politics because it's a dirty business and all that. But the thing is that the same greed that goes on in the political sphere has come into play in the church. You find a lot of people going. I've heard someone saying that if God no go, I'll just become pastor now. Should be his offering they'll give me. And so you find that some people have completely changed the narrative from actually pursuing integrity and the list that we just listed, and these people are just gunning for wealth. I have, if I go to seminary, I know I have a stable job. If I go to the seminary, automatically I would have.
Once you fail jam, go and get one.
Exactly, I have employment, and so you're going because it is seemingly a way to meet your basic needs. And we've come to a point in our society that we look at everything through the lenses of money. I remember when I accepted a job at Equa Television, and someone said, "You want to work with Equa? Equa is poor now. They will not pay you much." And I thought to myself, I said, am I actually doing this for the money, or is it because I love to talk about God? Is it because of the money, or because I am passionate about presenting? Is it because of the money? I had to weigh the scale and all that. So we have over time brought in the issue of money. I know I've heard someone say, this pastor on the pulpit, he's the best. His sermons are touching and heartfelt, but you see the area of money. Don't go close to that man.
Of course.
So women.
Women. So automatically that person has compromised his integrity because of one failure, one weakness, for lack of better words.
But is it possible, Prudence, is it really possible that in today's life, where hardship is everywhere, in today's life, you just give an example where integrity is expected, like it's just expected. Recall the days of old when there are issues. I mean, once they call a pastor and he just speaks, that settles it. But today, even in the church, when you hear certain things that happen and you're like, I don't understand, am I on the right path? Like I remember lately I had to discuss with somebody saying that, see, you have to disregard all these things that you're hearing and serve God for who he is. If you are going to put together the things you are hearing and the person that is talking, you might end up not even serving God. And that's why Engineer Tony will say that sometimes when you hear some preachers or men of God talk, he remove their person, like the character, and just hear the word so that he can have a take home. Otherwise, if you are to match the character, if you are to match some of the compromises, then you find yourself being discouraged. So I had to tell this person that, see, know God for who he is, ask him to reveal himself to you, study the Bible, and then like trust him for revelations. And I'm not saying disregard the gathering of brethren and all of that, but don't put a man as your standard because you will be disappointed. So in a world where even the place that you expect integrity, you are seeing, lack of it, people still offering in the church, ushers still offering. We have committees being inaugurated, and committee chairman will abscond with money. Or even in the church, people write requests and then add the money, inflate the money just so that they can have their share.
And like, talking about offering, there was a church that a woman was so pained about it. Though hers was tight, the amount that was announced the following Sunday as the total collection of tithe was not up to half
what she
gave as tithe. And she picked it up. She was so angry about it. So it goes to tell you that those that are even gone in for the offering are like the smaller thieves. Because if you are going in for the tithe, you have an idea that, okay, it can come like in a large sum. So for you to have gone for that, she had to make sure that there was interrogation. And at the end of the day, they were able to pull out the person that took that. So what about places that constantly they will always steal and then you have no idea who is taking it? Like, it means even the ushers should be totally scrutinized to even be sure of the person you are putting in that kind of a sensitive position.
So now looking at this example as well, we just gave an aspect, a place where you expect integrity without even question, without thinking twice. You see people inflating, siphoning, stealing money and all of that. When you come to the society, the government, it's something else. Corruption littered everywhere. And then even as individuals in our families, you see older siblings trying to be deceitful, and parents, all of that. So is it possible to make money without compromise? Is it really possible?
Absolutely.
So if yes, how can one be deliberate about making money the right way?
It's not an easy right? It is not something that, in fact, the whole world, and I'm very particular about using that, the whole world will look at you like a fool. Like, is this person a fool?
They say I've been working 7 years, 8 years, 9 years, 10 years. You have nothing to show for it. See, this one that worked for 6 months, see him.
So I know of a couple who, when she was getting married, everybody, and that is one very interesting thing about our generation today. If you're asked what are the criteria that you want in a husband, first of all is he has to be comfortable.
No, the comfortable, they're trying to make it subtle. He has to be rich.
I'm using
at
the
the
word
end of
that
the day, they just add
is
God fearing as last, so that
you're
not
not
look
a touch of God fearing.
but this is how everybody just looks at it. So this woman had the option of marrying a pastor and a rich man, right? And everybody, in that world, you would expect that automatically she would go for the rich man. Or she opted for the pastor, and everybody looked at her like, are you a fool? Why? Why would you go for this pastor? She said she's convinced that it is the pastor that is her husband. And over time, she had health issues and all that, but this is one thing that you would expect. So first of all, he's a pastor, right? But in this situation, health issues that you need a large sum of amounts to treat your wife is enough reason to be tempted to go into the coffers of the church, right? But this man would do something like this even when he is being given money and he's not able to take it to the bank. He keeps it under his bed. He would do something crazy like this, that when he wants to take the money back to the bank, he would dip his hand into his own pocket and remove some amount and put it on top in case someone that he since he kept it in his room in case someone came in contact with the money and touched it. So let me top up in case, so that I don't have any issues with the church. This is something that is because he has chosen that he will not have any issues with the church because of money. So on the long run, the whole issue of making money without compromising, without being on the wrong part of the law, is because you have decided, you wake up every day and you make the decision that making money is not going to cause me to compromise for any reason. It is even better I lose the money than for me to compromise. I know I've heard Engineer Tony saying on the set that he did a whole lot of work. He gave his all to that work, and at the end of the day he was told to consider it bad business. Did he go about trying to find a way to get back his money? No. He just went back and got to do more work to be able to get more than what he even expected in that first instance. So the whole issue about money, why would the scripture go an extra mile to say something like you cannot serve both God and mammon, is because and money in other translation, it's because money in itself is a spirit, and so there if you have dedicated your life to the pursuit of money, you might have a whole lot of issues. But if you dedicate your life to integrity and principles, then you would find it easier for you to get a lot of money. And how is it easier? It's that when you have grown past the obstacle, you look back and you have peace of mind. So when you have money, it's like consolation for what you've gone through. It's not the end product of what you're doing, but it is consolation for what you have, the sweat that you have gone through, and so you appreciate it even more. And because you appreciate it more, you're able to manage it rightly. And that's another thing about money. It's that it's not as much what is entering your pocket, it is as much how you manage it. So how is it possible for you to be able to make money within the circle of integrity? It is possible because you keep making the choice daily that there's no reason why I would compromise it. That's really how to look at it.
Can we, in a world where everywhere is just filled with compromise, how can you make money the right way?
When God was about to destroy the whole city, Abraham asked, what if you find one person that is not indulging in that kind of sin? Will you save the person? He said yes. And then he kept adding the number and adding the number. He got to 20, 30, 40, 50 and thereabout. You can find people that sincerely are doing their best in whatsoever mode of making money they are doing. So that 1,000,001 people are doing it wrongly doesn't mean that it is just 1,000,001 people in the entire world. There is someone out there that is doing it well, and he is making progress while doing it well. So you can. It all boils down to your decision before you started. And not just before you started, even in the process of doing it, because you can actually decide that you want to do this well. And while you're in the process, you get to meet people that will just scatter your mind, your mental state, and then put other things into your mind. And before you know, you're drifting away. More like if you cannot beat them, join them. So since you were not able to beat them, you didn't run away, but you chose to join them. So there are people that really are making money in the best way that they can. They are setting examples, and then there are a million others that are doing it wrongly. So it boils down to you really. What is your decision, and how well are you sticking to that decision? And really, God sees it. He blesses the little that you have. That is why someone that is doing it rightly, you see him progressing. He may not have a large shop or a large business, but the little one he's doing constantly, yes, the oil keeps flowing. It never ceases, it never stops. It may not increase, but there is consistency in the business.
prudence, about making money without compromising. Everything boils down to your decision. You know, you have the right to choose where to belong, whether you want to compromise or whether you want to stay true to what you're doing. Now, talk about money, like I said earlier on, it's just everywhere. Everybody wants to make money so that they'll be able to meet their needs, so that they'll be able to have their integrity intact. Sometimes when I see people compromising, so I'll be like, so why did you work in the first place? You will have just stayed wherever you are and just like do what every other person is doing, but you have to pull yourself out, work this hard just for you to throw it. And I always say, why do people compromise? Why do people dash away their freedom and their peace? Because when you compromise, when you make money the wrong way, that's what you're doing. You're compromising on your peace and then your freedom. I've seen a lot of people that have money or have made money, but because it's not the right way, they don't have peace. You can't walk on the street. You're turning because you are likely to be arrested by EFCC, or a customer you deceived. You collected the money and you couldn't give value to that person. You are running away, or you are blocking people online because you know that you went for profit without considering integrity. Now, in talking about money, a speaker said that, in fact, making money is like creating wealth. He said wealth is not sexually transmitted. That's for some people, they feel to make money, they make money by sleeping around, like, looking for rich men, sleeping with them, give you money. Prudence says some of the conditions that now some ladies settle for men is that he has to be very rich. So even if you marry this very rich man, know that, this speaker is saying, know that the wealth is not sexually transmitted. Because if you don't have the brain to keep multiplying this wealth, think about it when this man is no more. There are people that, like, married people that are very rich, but as soon as they die, there's nothing, because they don't know how to manage it. They don't even have enough information about the business or knowledge about whatever it is, and that's how everything just went away. So that you're thinking, one of my criteria, he must be very rich. Do you have the brain to maintain the riches, or to create it, or to add up that wealth? If you don't have, you cannot sustain it. So I would like to say that in creating wealth, in making money the right way, you need to identify your skills and talents. There are a lot of people that are making money out there because they have discovered what they are passionate about, and that thing in turn give them money. It might be tailoring, it might be hair making, it might be bead making, it might be painting, it might be carpentry, whatever it is. What do you have strength in? What are you passionate about? You can create value out of your passion, out of your skills, out of your talent, and in turn, these things will give you wealth. There are people that are seated right now that each minute is just credit alert that is entering their phone. Why? Because they have utilized their skills, they have utilized their talents. Now in Nigeria, a lot of people will tell you that, see, now business people, they make a big time.
But that's
the economy is hard. I mean, inflation, prices of things have gone high. But you that is earning, like at the month end, up till now, the government are still dragging back and forth about the minimum wage. But the transport fare you fly, like you board, it has increased. It's none of their business. So people that are doing business, they have added their prices. As things are going up, they also are increasing their prices as well. But the person that is earning salary, you have to just collect whatever it is, because, like, how many months down, the conversation is still about, since the removal of petroleum and prices going up, conversation about minimum wage increments is still up and about. Back and forth with threats of strike, and nothing has been implemented yet, even though some state governors have signed some. But even the 30,000 of old, up till today as we speak, some are yet to even implement it. So can you discover your skill? Can you discover your talent? Can you make value out of it and then make money? At the end of it, you see that this thing will bring money. And I see that when people choose impact, naturally you make wealth out of it.
True.
If your focus is on money, you are losing it. But when you have the idea, when you have the skill, you have the talent, and you're looking at what value can I give, that value you give will in turn give you money. There are people that we do business with them, we buy things from there, and you know that I won't go back there again. Why? Because you didn't get value for what you actually paid for. And there are people that you buy things from, and you're like, did they dash this person this thing in the market? Why? Because of how you were served, and served well. Like, you felt like I got more than the value of my money. And you see yourself going back, referring other people and you're creating wealth. Can you also, if you are into business or if you work in an organization, can you be that person of integrity? That will in turn also help you in making money. That's you making money the right way. Because if as an accountant I don't compromise on ethics, on standard, definitely you get rewarded. Even if the organization does not reward you, life will reward you. God will reward you. There are persons that because of how faithful they are in the organizations or companies they work, a customer can just come and say, I like how this person always serves me. Okay, what do you think about working in so place? Do you have any qualification? Person say yes. The person just bring your papers, and next thing you're hearing, the person is employed in a bigger organization. So it's also important that even beyond business, if you work as an employee, can you be that person that has values, has standards that would not compromise on? I will always say, in an office or in a workplace, you find out that there are certain people that when people want to compromise, they don't go close to them because they know this person's no is his no. Even if he does not have food on the table, he would not compromise. Where you find other people suppressing other people's needs. You find there are some bosses that monies that are supposed to be shared, they hold it to themselves, and they will not. Or in instances where you're supposed to pay people their benefit, you decide to hoard it. That's not you making money the right way, because you will end up spending that money, but what you have done, like people say karma, it's not you making money, but people think that they are being smart. They sit on other people's income in offices. They embezzle what is supposed to be for the public, and they feel, it's just my way of making money. But that's wrong.
You know something that you just touched here, and I think that we should really talk about it, is this, that a lot of people harness wealth for themselves through the very various wrong means, and they will tell you something like, I'm doing this for my children. But you know, one thing that is interesting is that if people have already known that this is the kind of person you are, the same children that you're saying you're harnessing wealth for, who are not able, they don't have the capacity or the capability to maintain and reproduce that wealth that you would leave for them behind. When they meet these same people, their opportunities will be cut short, because this person would say something like, I know this guy's father, don't work with him. He's probably the same person as his father, and his father was not a man of integrity. And so they would not even want to work with this person. So your harnessing wealth for your children is automatically closing doors for your children in the future. But you see, that's another aspect that people don't really look into when they're getting wealth. For instance, now that former governor that everybody keeps talking about how much he embezzled. Recently, it was said that the EFCC arrested him for over 10 billion. I think over 100. I didn't get the figures, but it was reading billions, right? Tomorrow, if a child of this person comes up and says, I want to run for this position, nobody is going to look at him, because they would remember that this is what your father did to the government. And so they would not even, he has automatically closed doors for his child. But he would not look at that. He was thinking that he's doing the best thing for his child by going to pay school fees ahead of time and all that. So we really need to look at the impacts that our gaining wealth is going to have on our children. What exactly are you giving your child? If you're teaching your child that using the most improper way to get money is the right way, your child would over time get into trouble. And one thing about children is that they watch what you're doing. Even as old as we are, we still watch what our parents are doing, and we learn from them. So automatically, whether you are vocally saying that this is the right way or not to your child is reading it. So what you're doing is not affecting just the generation today, but also the one of tomorrow and the one that would come after that, up until someone decides from that line and says, I'm not going to walk on that path anymore.
It's just unfortunate.
So integrity is
It's
very
unfortunate.
important
Mhm.
to look at. And just like you said, integrity builds sustenance for you. Integrity does this, is that even when it seemingly looks like there is no hope for you, integrity opens doors. You have nothing, but because you have integrity, you can hold your head up high and stand in front of anybody and defend yourself, because you know that you have that integrity. That's one thing that nobody can steal from you, because you have it inbuilt. It tells it's goes goes beyond what you can see. It is deposit for your future.
It's
you
just
know,
unfortunate
I-
what people do just to make money. Before
Yes.
you make your point, sorry. Like, it's really unfortunate. I would just call it the wicked things that people do in the name
True.
of making money. Do you remember you will go to the market to buy something, and I was told that they put now shelf of, like, you want to buy a bag of maize. They tell you, oh, this bag of maize is bag of 80 measures. And underneath it, or at the middle, they put certain things. But
5
in the
measures is
person's
good.
mind, oh, that's me being smart. They mix the oil that people use to cook, they mix it with other chemicals. The food that people buy, I like a lot of things that people do in the name of making money, things that are detrimental to even people's lives. Like, people make materials, building materials that are not of standard just because they want to make money. When people are giving contract, like to build, to handle certain project, they use materials that are not of standard just so they can save part of the money and accumulate it for themselves at the detriment of lives of people in the future. Just recently we heard of a school that like collapsed, and how many children died. Why? Because of one person's negligence, or because somebody felt, no, I could save this amount of money than buying land in so place. It's better I just use this one that is cheaper. And like a lot of things that people perpetuate in the name of earning a living and making money is just quite unfortunate. But I pray to God and I hope that we'll have a time where people will choose, regardless of what is happening, regardless of the numbers of people compromising and making money any way possible, because he helps people saying, I will either make this money or die trying, something like that, but will not give a whichever is the way. Like, whichever is the way is a way. Like, they make a lot of cliches or a lot of statements in the name of making money. But like Prudence rightly emphasized, integrity is key, and that is what we should all prioritize.
True. And I feel it's because of laziness. Because if you want to work hard and make money, why would you want to be lazy and just sit down and let the money keep coming to you? That is what people have in mind. Why will you wake up in the morning and people are dressing up going for business? You are dressing up to go and dupe people. You're dressing up to go and steal from where you did not sow. You want to reap where you didn't sow. It shouldn't be like that. If everyone would be at his own corner and want to strive, want to work hard, wants to hustle, want to save and invest wisely as well, everybody will be able to have one or two at their own end. But when you sit down and you are waiting for others to sweat, when they are done sweating, you go and pack, then that is a way that seemeth right to a man, but the end of it is destruction.
It's like Joyce said, it is just outright wickedness. It's like people just being wicked, and they go an extra mile and say something like, all way now way, every which way. However it is, you make money or die trying. And so, because we have these cliches going on around town, because the society has sold that you are not of worth if you don't have wealth, because we have reached the point where some cultures have built over time that if your burial is not massive and all that, you cannot say you were a man, you lived a life. So because of all these cliches, people have gone extra miles to go and do things that are really not favorable to them or even the people around them. So I think that it just boils down to the points that we made earlier, that you need to make that decision whether or not you would allow the search, the rushing for wealth be your driving force, and not just or integrity being your driving force, or what's the other word for it? Principles being your driving force. So you need to tell yourself the truth and make the right decisions so that you go about making wealth the right way. And something about it is that if you're making wealth the right way, you gain favor with men and before God. And when you gain favor with men and with God, it's like what money cannot buy. It goes way beyond the money that you're thinking you have. So really go for that rather than making dirty wealth.
Very true and well said. Thank you, Jemima. Thank you so much, Prudence.
Pleasure.
And to our viewers out there, thank you so much for staying with us on today's edition of Today's Life. Indeed, the pursuit of wealth overshadows the pursuit or the principles of integrity as well as purpose. But as we navigate the complexity of earning a living, it's important that we uphold integrity even in making money. Let's ensure that we go for sustainability, impact, as well as value. Thank you for staying with us. We'll come your way tomorrow, same time. You stay blessed. Bye-bye.